Hey kids, this is Pulse Revision coming to you live from Cuatro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement with a little update and just talking about what's going on in the anti-gravity community. Everyone's kind of getting excited because we got these little bumps, these little twitches of the market going on. And if you listen to your friend Saw Me like I do a lot, then you've got a lot of opium pumping through your veins right now, which is awesome as well. I've got the link for this to join the stream in our Telegram under streams, and I've also posted it on Twitter. So if any of you guys want to join me on stream and ask any questions or talk about anything, just jump on in. I'll probably be on here for about, I'm guessing 30 minutes or so. I'm just going to stream and update you guys while I'm waiting on my kids to get ready to go. But other than that, let me jump on Twitter here. Tell everyone we're live. All right, there we go. So we're posted. We're posted up on Twitter. There we go. Yeah, and we've got Pulse Rising, which shout out to Pulse Rising, who is kind enough to retweet this. We got several very loyal, cool followers that like to retweet, share all our stuff. We appreciate that. That means the world to us that you guys are growing our tiny community. Our tiny community, which, by the way, let me go back here into StreamYard. And hey, what's up, Francis? Good to see you, man. I will be sharing my screen, which means, of course, my screen, my little face will be frozen, but that's okay. You can imagine me mumbling here. So yeah, let me share my screen with what we got going on. Really, Telegram is a place to be. That's where our collective, our community really hangs out. And that's where I like to post things first. I like to post streams, links or invites. I'll post I'll post stuff like our audit reports there. We had 2 audits to cover all of our smart contracts, and then we made a couple of adjustments to our smart contracts with testnet. And so, of course, anything that we had changed, we went ahead and got a re-audit on, and we are basically waiting for that audit, So, the report. The audit's basically done, but the report is coming out. And the other 2 reports are already posted on there as well. I'm just putting that Telegram right here. For some reason, my keyboard, something here is stuck. It's not wanting to type. Or maybe it's just delayed. Maybe it's just low on battery here. Yeah, it might be. Let me pull it back here towards the sensor. Yep, works like a charm now. I'm going to have to charge this baby. There we go. So here is our Telegram, t.me/antigravity saga. Join us over there, and we have several groups, which are pretty cool. We've got the main chat, obviously, where we're talking about the token and the security and just all sorts of stuff. And then we have one group for just the videos and streams where we have stuff like this posted. We have a part for just the book Rings of Dust for people that are wanting to help us work on that, edit that one. We're trying to get that one finished as quickly as possible and published on Amazon and Audible. And then, of course, we've got the art, so the NFT art on there as well for you guys to check out and submit and earn, prizes and goodies for submitting the art that's chosen for the next NFT. We have this NFT right here. This is the first NFT that's going to be minted. It's going to be the most valuable NFT. It's going to get the greatest yield from the treasury. So there you go. That's what the first NFT is going to look like. The second NFT I'd like to do art on is the main character, Cole Nova. And so we have some pictures of him. I'll show you guys in Telegram. But that would be good. We have a bunch of really cool characters. We've got Cole Nova, the hero. We have BitBoy Leroy. In fact, I think I've got him saved behind me right here. Let's actually add that to the background. Yeah, here's BitBoy Leroy behind me. So we've got BitBoy Leroy, the cybernetic monkey. Back here, we've got Heavy Hitter, also known as Ricardo Corazon. You guys might get what that name's alluding to. He's a big dude. He's a lot of fun. We've got Emily, Cole's sister. We have Sharon, Cole's love interest, and then we got a couple other people on the crew later that show up, and some bad guys. We've got Agent Greenbaum, who nobody's going to like Agent Greenbaum, but I'll be pulling through those. Hexstep, the Prosperity Project. Howdy from Montana. Howdy, Hexstep. Good to see you. And of course, Jay Everything is here hanging out. And I believe this is Jay Everything from DGen Roundtable. I could be wrong, but let me know. Looks like we're all wrenched up in the chat, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and freeze my screen. There we go. Nice and frozen. I'm going to commit the cardinal sin of sharing the entire screen. So we'll see. We'll see what comes up here. Hopefully it won't be any insane messages popping up in the corner from crazy ex-girlfriends or bill collectors. So we'll kill that. It's warning me that you guys can see everything on my screen, which makes it a lot easier to jump from screen to screen. But the first place we're going to go, let's check on the testnet really quickly. So we have the testnet right here at test.agproject.io. And right now we're waiting to kick off another round of the simulation. So if you go to minting, as you can see, this is still on journey 1, hasn't kicked off. And it's got some money in the treasury. But when this goes live, it'll say how many minutes and hours you have to mint, and then it'll go into, the journeys. So our devs some of them are at conferences right now, and some of them are just off. And so when they come back, we'll be kicking this off, and you guys can jump back in and run testnet and check it out. And that has to do, of course, with the bug bounty program that I'll get into in just a little bit. And then once you've minted on the screen with the minting, our beta site for the lottery and the treasury and the vaporizing is beta.agproject.xyz. And of course, all these are in our Telegram. So if you go to our Telegram and look around or ask any questions, you'll be able to get these very quickly. This one still is, the lottery thinks that it's running on journey 26 right now. But it isn't. So we'll sync these back up. And of course, you've got the treasury, which tells you how many fuel cells you've minted. And you have Vaporize, where you can break open your fuel cells to get the dark matter tokens out of the inside of them if you guys lose that game of chicken. So yeah, that's good. We check the green room. Green room is still good. Everything's still good in comments. So we will go now to Telegram. If you go to Telegram, again, this is the submissions for the art right here. But here's the general chat. So in the general chat, if you click on the pinned messages, you'll see things like when I was on the Shit Show with Vets and Crypto Compassion. That was a really good show. And then also the testnet token address to get the testnets. And then if you go up here to this pinned message, it's the Bug Bounty program. So the Bug Bounty program is live. We were trying to get it to it was supposed to end today, but we just are having the hardest time getting hackers and getting people excited over $5,000. A lot of bug bounty programs out there are in the millions, and you're paying somewhere between $10,000 and $30,000 just to be listed on their platforms. So again, we're just bootstrapping this. We're a small community, and so we're going to continue to work on getting as much action in the bug bounty program as possible to make this as secure as possible. And then we'll probably just keep it running after launch. But if you go here, there's 3 different links. The first link pulls up the guidelines and the links to everything going on here, how to report, what to report, contact and support. So that's the first link. The second link is the rewards. So we have $250 for all of the severe or high severity bugs. And we have $100 for the medium, $50 for the low, and $10 for the informational right there. And you can read about each single one of those, like what kind of a bug they are and examples of them. And then the third link here is the Airtable right here. So you pop open the Airtable, and if you got a bug to report and you want to cash in some of that money, you just fill all of these out right here. And they are required. I have had some people reach out, say, I don't have a Twitter handle or whatever. It really doesn't matter. You can, as long as we can get a hold of you, you can fill out all this information on the bug, and then agree to the disclosure and the agreement program, the program rules, and hit submit. So that's what's going on right now. If any of you guys are prone to that kind of stuff, that is in the main one right there. So let's go back here to the main chat. So that's really what the main chat is for, is we're publishing the audits, we're announcing things as we go along. And then, of course, you have the book, Rings of Dust, where people have been doing some editing on these chapters that are, I should probably repost them here. There's like the first 6 chapters of the book that are posted, audio book, like there is an MP3 so you can listen to the audio book. And then, of course, there's the text if you just want to read it. But we have the first 6 chapters. We're basically down to 14 chapters right now that are pretty well fleshed out and ready for edit. And I'd say we got 5 to 10 more chapters to wrap it up and make it a complete book. Because like I said, we want to get that on Amazon and Audible as quickly as possible. We believe that Audible is going to be a great place to get new eyeballs, because I mean, people scroll through Audible all the time just looking for an audiobook. There are people that are, listen to audiobooks all day, just like some people listen to music or watch YouTube all day. And I think we'll be able to reach a sci-fi group there that's not even in crypto, and it might be a good onboarding and way to grow the community, of course. So that's that. And then, of course, the submissions for the art. As I said before, this is the first NFT right here, just Rings of Dust. It's got some cool symbols and some logos on it right there. That's going to be the first one. And then the second one, as I said here in my NFTs, I think it should be Cole Nova, which let me jump to him and I'll jump to some of this other really, really cool art for you guys. Here's a bunch of the pictures of Cole Nova that we've rendered with AI so far. He's probably like in his late 40s, early 50s. Handsome, but not too handsome. Let's see, like that guy's too handsome. He's too pretty. This guy right here is this is, him looking at and thinking about all the people that died in the crash at the beginning of the book. That one might be a little bit too creepy for an NFT. Here he is also remorseful. Some other pictures of him, check, like, seeing the crash, what's going on. That one right there looks like an underwear commercial. Like a Hanes underwear commercial. You got him in his flight suit, some other versions of him. Here's one that looks like he's aged like 100 years. This one's a pretty old looking Cole. Here's another one that AI came up with, 69 feet tall. So anyways, this is like the AI does some really interesting spelling when you tell it to write stuff. Here's another picture. You guys can go, again, that guy's, these guys are just way too pretty. Like, these are the guys that can show up in the movie version of the book, but I don't know if this is like the rugged guy that we want in our book. But those are just some ideas of Cole Nova right there. So yeah, you can go in there. I know a lot of you guys are really good with Dolly and Blender, things of that nature, and or Midjourney. And so if you guys want to take chunks of the book or just anything and feed it in and submit art, this is definitely the place to go to submit art. So that's Cole really quick. Let me check back on the green room just in case anyone is chomping at the bit to join us. We have Hex Deck in the green room. Let me add you here to stage. And we also have Kirby Lucario, and he's saying eHex is pumping more than pHex. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, and you said EX has some catch up to do, right?
Just a little bit, but we'll get there.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. I was on the Treehouse call earlier with Sloth and Randy earlier this week. There's so much stuff going on right now. You wouldn't, if you looked at the chart of Pulse, you wouldn't think much is going on there. But if you're in the community and talking to the builders and everyone getting ready for this next pump, it's insane the activity that's going on right now in Pulse. You've got the meme coins that are blowing up all over Solana. You've got some meme coins jumping up on Pulse right now, but for the most part, there's a lot more going on underneath the surface than the chart is telling people, And I kind of feel like, looking at the pHex chart, that some of the big boys, possibly, RH included, they're starting to quietly suck a lot of that supply off the open market, without causing the price to move up too quickly, because I think they're also getting ready for altcoin season and they're packing their bags with Hex. That's kind of what I see on the chart. I could be completely wrong, but what do you think?
Well, I think we're going to see a little bit of 5555 staking here coming up. I know I've seen on Twitter several people talking about the Hex staking party that's going to be going on. I think it's this week, for about a week's time, and people are going to be really pushing it. I think what we're going to see is a lot of staking on pHex, obviously because of the price action, and sense-wise, it doesn't make sense to necessarily stake eHex. Unless you're going for long-term appreciation. But like if you're talking about just for the bull market aspect, the staking cost is what's prohibitive, I guess I'd say.
Yeah, it really is. And we have so many cool derivatives right now of Hex, especially, pHex, where the fees are affordable. You have Actuator that just came out, which gives you an option to buy a liquid version of a future stake. You've got Maximus DAO and all their perpetuals, and of course HSI stakes as well that you can transfer. So there's so much more now than the native stakes that we started with on Ethereum, that it really, like you said, it doesn't make sense to go stake Hex natively on Ethereum with all of the options that we have right now.
Yeah, or until they find a solution to the S-load issue, which could be a future event, for Vitalik to.
Yeah. I
deal with.
remember back in 2016, 2017 on that crazy spike, I took a chunk of Bitcoin and I believed the promises that Ethereum was making back then. They're like, oh, we're going to come out with, I don't even remember what the upgrade was. So I took a bunch of Ethereum, a bunch of Bitcoin. I moved it over to Ethereum. And of course, they didn't fix their gas problem. They didn't get their upgrade done. And it just crashed after, it was buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've never gotten over that that bullshit. And then of course, on the 2021, I remember there was one of my accounts that I spent $30,000 in Ethereum fees in just one of those accounts. And I was just like sick to my stomach, like how much that you could have gotten so much more crypto for that 30K. So yeah, I've definitely got a hate relationship with good old ETH. Oh, I didn't even see this earlier. We got Gugod in the house. What's up, Gugod? Good to see you, man. Watching on X. Good to see you. What kind of beer, Hexdex?
No, it's solely pineapple. I gave up on the beers and stuff like that back in June and started working out again. So
good stuff. Good stuff. I'm sipping on some Fresca. I can't drink Fresca without thinking about that show, The Boys. There's this, well, and that's the messed up thing. Like, what movie? I was watching a movie recently. I think it was The Boys, where they freaking had the collective, like the creepy Scientology people. Like,
really?
Like Scientologists, they're called the collective. And I was like, I really should have watched this show before I named our group the collective, because it's got some creepy undertones there. But yeah, good time. But they offer everyone a Fresca. They're always like, Fresca, like that's what they offer everyone to drink. It's goofy. I want to jump back into the art real quick here, and we'll jump through that and see if, like I said, if anyone, we have Smo Spider bring in some really cool animated AI art. Check out those crystals in this one. Like that's sick. That could very easily be in our next NFT. Like she's got a lot of creativity. So shout out to Smo Spider. She's one of the top people here. One of the OGs in our group. And then of course I think she also came up with some of these, or no, maybe those are. So this is the first one I put in here. This is like Whiskey Slap. There's a scene in the book where they take the new recruits of the collective. They're headed out to a secret location on a ship. And the new people, to get initiated, they have to do Whiskey Slap, which some people have played this game before. But basically, you take a shot of whiskey and then someone smacks you in the face really hard. And this is like their hazing or their, gauntlet. What's the word? There's a word I'm looking for, initiation. So this is just kind of a picture of that initiation that AI threw together for me. But let me scoot back here to some of the other characters. Again, we went over Cole Nova, which I really believe Cole Nova should be the second NFT. And then we've got, BitBoy Leroy, who's a cybernetic chimpanzee. Right here, I think that's a macaque right there. But, okay, there's a chimp. There's the chimp right here. This is like the best picture we have of him so far with the mantis blades. But he's also definitely very worthy of his own NFT, I believe. So this, and all of this is all Dolly. This is nothing but Dolly. Here's some people we actually uploaded one to Upwork and had them make that other version of it. This is the only picture of Heavy Hitter or Ricardo Corazon right here. Every time we told AI to make him big, they made, like, this is big, but the other ones are just ridiculous how huge they made him. He did not look like he could function. He was so big in the other ones. And then of course some iconic broken helmets, because that's kind of like some of the stuff that happens in the hero's journey is the broken helmet. So we got a few of those. The opening scene, or the second chapter in Las Vegas, is where we meet Emily and Sharon, and they play a prank on this creepy guy in the elevator, who's actually turns out to be Agent Greenbaum later. but they have some fun with him. This is a lab. So these are all scenes from the book. Here's one of the anterooms of the bad guys. Here's him watching a spaceship get destroyed. Here's another picture of them messing with him in the elevator. There's a picture of them in Vegas. So Emily and Sharon, we're writing more backstory about them and making them more fleshed out characters right now in the book. And so they'll probably have their own NFT. Like I said, we'll have 33 NFTs total. And the first one's already picked. It's the image behind me, the one that I've shared. But the other ones are up for grabs. We've got we really want you guys, we want the audience, the community to create the art that we're going to be using for the NFTs. And then, of course, you get rewarded with a bunch of ranks and points in our collective. You're probably going to get some tokens. And, of course, you'll live on forever in the blockchain with your art. So, yeah, there's so many things I threw into AI while I've been working on this. Here's people running from the explosion. This one's just creepy. I could not tell you what this one is about. It's just people coming out of the woodwork. Again, there's BitBoy Leroy and a version of Cole flying through debris. That's a cool one right there. This is kind of a logo we're working on, like watch and earn. So you can kind of watch the story unfold and earn yield from the treasury. And you can also earn or win the lottery as well. So these are just some of those ones we came up with. Here's Sharon. Nice picture of Sharon in a dress. Here's some trippy animation of the dark matter crystals, what they might look like. And I think we actually have like several of these that we had someone on Upwork build for us. But then again, here's some ideas of how they might hold dark matter down on the surface. So these are all laboratories where they have crazy pipe organs and other anti-gravity and different resonance beams to hold on to it, because you can't really touch it, but you got to suspend it somehow. So these are all laboratories. I like this one a lot with the giant, almost looks like an iceberg right there floating. There's another one of the iceberg. Ooh, that one's a good one. I like that one because of all the scientists hanging out around beneath it. And this one's a really good picture of the pipe organ kind of thing that like holds it up with tones, which is an idea that we were kicking around. Oh, that one's cool too. I bet you this one right here is from Don, the hexiest man in the world. This looks like his stuff. He's got some really good skills. And then, of course, Jackpot is the nickname of Cole Nova, and Jackpot also goes with the lottery aspect that you have when you mint the NFTs. You jump in the lottery. Here's a picture of the wish well, which is how we got this whole ball rolling, with you guys throwing money into the wish well, helping us bootstrap a lot of the coding and audits. And then, of course, there's the first NFT right there. That's going to be the first one with the logos of anti-gravity, dark matter, and the collective pasted on the bottom. So that's it, man. That's just some of the art we've got chilling out there. What do you think so far, Hextech? Do you have any questions at this point about the art, the story, or anything?
Yeah, well, is this something that you're putting together? I'm kind of stepping in the middle of kind of the conversation aspect, but you were saying about fleshing out the characters and stuff. So is this a tie into the blockchain with a book?
Yeah, I don't think the book's going to be on the blockchain. Mm-hmm. We could put it on the blockchain, but mainly I was trying to figure out a way to get degens who love gambling on JPEGs and love lotteries. I thought, how can I hook those people and bring them into our community, which has to do with DeFi, decentralization, yield, finished projects, not rug pulls, basically. Okay. And so I thought, if we put together a project where we could get their attention and get their interest and get them minting these NFTs, over time, they would see the yield that grows inside the NFT. Okay. And so there's a yield growing on the inside of the NFT. And then if you win the lottery, the tokens are on the outside of the NFT. So you can access the lottery winnings as liquid tokens and cash, but you've got to break open the NFT, kind of like the What's-a NFTs, if you guys are familiar with the What's-as,
Yeah.
where it's like a game of chicken to see who's going to break open their pinata first. And
I
in
haven't
this
touched
case,
mine.
we have fuel cells. Mixed, aka J.A. Soul. He likes your drink. It's IPA Sunday here. Sell me your EHEX. He's ready to take over that EHEX. Yeah. So like I said, we were trying to think of a way to make our JPEGs more interesting than the other JPEGs, and we started writing the book with AI. We just started throwing ideas and characters and plot points in ChatGPT, and it got really good. The problem with ChatGPT, though, is that only half of the stuff it comes up with is useful.
Sure.
The other half is just garbage or repetitive. So we started just taking the ChatGPT and just writing it on our own. And I've had several co-authors work with me. And at first, we just had a fun hero's journey story arc, but it didn't explain the tokenomics. It didn't explain the NFTs.
Okay.
And so we started baking the tokenomics and how the NFTs and the token work into the story.
Yeah.
So you can read the story and it'll make more sense, because it's people have a hard time wrapping their head around just minting NFTs sometimes, or staking hex, like explaining a t-shirt to someone. It takes a little while for them to wrap their head around it. So the easier we can make this, the more entertaining we can make it, the better. And so that's, and then again, we've only got about 200 people in our Telegram right now. And it's a tiny, tiny community. It's kind of like a little group of VCs, because they're all, up to this point, they're all fiercely loyal. And so we've got, it's just like this tiny knit group of really cool people. And so I think that as we 10x that 200 people, or 100x that 200 people, and grow our community within the Pulse Chain community, then that could do really cool things for the price chart. And again, price chart, that's like the best marketing anyone can have is green candles, right?
Yeah.
So everything we can do to
so-
make that token scarce and pump up the price, we've baked into this. So we have the limited time to mint them. We have the limited amount that you can mint. We have the lottery giveaways. We have an evil address. So there's an address that owns 65% of these tokens, and it represents the bad guys in our book, right? They're out to hoard all of the energy and resources for themselves, and take advantage of everyone else. And we see that happening right now in crypto, where the banks and governments, especially over the last 4 years, have done everything they can to try and control and take that power away from everybody, and insert themselves as the middleman between us and crypto and each other. So in our token, like I said, we have this evil address that is going to mint as many tokens, as many NFTs as it can. It's going to win as many lotteries as it can. It's out there to hoard. Now that's bad, because it's competing against you. But on the flip side, it's also removing, 65% of circulating supply completely off the market. So it's a double-edged sword. It's kind of good to be there. It's kind of bad to be there. And as time progresses with the book and the project, you'll see if the collective, who's going to win between the collective and Alpha Corp. That's the bad guys in the book. Who's going to win? And who's going to win with us, right? Is it going to be free speech and our communities, or is it going to be the SEC or the banks or other people that want to shut down the cool stuff we've got going on? It's
news.
Yeah, it's a real life game that we're watching right now when it comes to freedom and technology. So we try to mirror that as much as we can in the book and make it as interesting and exciting as possible. So we think that that makes us, that's like our one thing that sets us apart. There's so much noise right now in crypto. There's JPEGs and there's memes everywhere.
Sure.
There's DEXs, there's exchanges, there's liquidity pools, like just coming out our ears. So we're trying to find some way to make our project a little bit more unique and really attract the people that we have spent the last 5 years in the trenches with, the diehard hexicans and the pulsicans. They're the people that I want to build things with. They're the people that I want to hang out with. They're the people I want to see at the meetups. And so they're the people we're trying to attract with this project right now.
Nice. I know Wild SJ is pretty handy with the AI graphic type work and stuff like that. I know I've used ChatGPT in the past to do like simple contracts and stuff like that for like business or rental type aspects.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, there's things have really kind of advanced. And I probably plan on spending some of my 2025 getting back into some learning more about the whole AI utilization.
Yeah, I downloaded a recommendation by Randy Holarski. I haven't listened to it yet on audiobook, but it's called The AI Driven Leader.
Mm-hmm.
And he says just in the first couple chapters, that's like changed the way he operates everything. So I'm gonna be listening to that here when I get a second. I believe it's called The AI Driven Leader. I can check. But I think if you just look that up on Audible, you'll find it. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, we also were going to release like a chapter at a time on Audible and kind of drip it.
Okay.
But Audible's owned by Amazon, and you have to link to a Kindle or paperback on Amazon to get it on Audible. So we had to finish the Kindle version, first of all. The AI Driven Leader by Jeff Woods. That's the name.
Check it out.
Yeah, I'll definitely be listening to that one as well. But that's kind of changed things. I use AI a lot because I'll get really upset. I'll lose my shit with colleagues or people that I'm working with, and so I'll write my message into ChatGPT the way I would say it.
Right.
And then I tell ChatGPT, can you make this sound more professional, but keep the sense of urgency, kind of thing. And it rewrites it like perfectly. It's like it words things so well, like way better than I would be able to word them. It makes me sound way more professional. So if you guys want to hack on not sending emails and texts that you're going to regret, ChatGPT is really good for that.
Nice.
So, do you got any predictions on Ethereum or the altcoin market, the altcoin bull?
Talking about Ethereum based specifically for the altcoin market, or are we talking like Pulse Chain and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, Ethereum and basically anything but Bitcoin, because we still have to get a lot. We still use Ethereum as a bridge to get a lot of value in and out of Pulse Chain. However, I think there's going to be more and more on-ramps popping up that people can go around Ethereum. Don't get me wrong, I think Ethereum is going to obviously pump and do great. But at the same time, if someone just wants a Mike Tyson meme, then they're just going to try to get their money into Solana. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to want to go through Coinbase and then Ethereum and then Solana. They're just going to want to go as quickly as they can to that. So I think we'll see more routing around Ethereum this time and even more next time, unless Ethereum, kicks ass and, keeps their promises of all these upgrades. In fact, actually the last thing that they announced were like, well, we've got this one upgrade. I don't know what it's called, but they're like, yeah, it should be here around 2030. And it's like, nobody in crypto is going to stick around till 2030 for an upgrade. I mean, you might as well just join Charles Hoskinson and Cardano and be like, oh, in 2068, we're going to help Africans text each other without using their fingers or whatever they've got planned on over there.
Yeah, his network got the Trump bump there. In his potential future role in that aspect, crypto aspect for the government and stuff. So it'd be interesting to see. But I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, does Cardano even have an app or like any other things running on it?
I remember, I think it has smart contracts now, but one thing that Sami points out all the time is like the last time they spiked and did a really big hit, they had no smart contracts.
Yeah, that's
like they ran up on just the idea of smart contracts.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. And there's a ton of people right now trying to put smart contracts in a layer 2 on Bitcoin. They're basically trying to do EVM on top of Bitcoin because Bitcoin is finally, entrenched itself, and it's still, the big daddy. So
right.
it'll be interesting to see. But honestly, I was talking to my good friend Crypto Kool-Aid yesterday, and I think there's been some really good multi-chain solutions that have come out that help you go from one chain to another, one network to another already. None of them have really taken off or are easy to use, as far as I can tell, that I've found. I could be wrong. But eventually, I think it's not going to matter what chain you're on. I think it's going to be seamless, where the chains are going to be talking to each other back and forth. And
yeah,
and
it
at that point,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that community is all that matters now. But once things are more seamless and user friendly, then community is really going to be the only thing that matters.
Well, that's one thing with wallets. Internet Money Wallet. It has the cross-chain swaps and stuff like that. And they actually launch on these different platforms. So, they started on Ethereum, and then I think it was like 10 days from Pulse Chain launch, they were operational in Simpatico with Pulse Chain. But I really see a lot of development in that, where they potentially could have, in the roadmap, a thing of on and off ramp without having even to use Ethereum and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm kind of kicking myself because I still haven't opened an account with, I think it's called Old Liberty Bank.
Old Glory.
Old Glory.
So you're talking about 0x Coast partnership with Old Glory?
Yeah, that one right there. That's the one I'm excited about. I haven't gotten around to setting that up. But
okay.
But I'm waiting to see how good that is for withdrawing funds.
On
ramping and on off ramping.
Yeah, and I actually started kicking around the tires with 0x Coast, and then they partnered with Old Glory. I set up an Old Glory account just because of the fact that I wanted to get step through all the different transitions, and going from off ramping and then also as well as on ramping, and they've made significant strides in the past, like even 3.5-4 months, to where you're going to be able to basically connect with any bank on CST as far as your up and down and stuff like that. But also, with Old Glory, one of the nice things I like with that is, so I use that to on and off ramp, but I also can link my Old Glory account to one of my other external checking accounts.
Oh, cool. So you can still use the same bank and go through Old Glory.
Yeah, because at the time when I first signed up, all they had was the Old Glory Pay to go on and off with, so, I have a debit card with them and stuff like that. But they've since, like upgraded their systems and stuff like that. So it's fantastic, to be able to sit there and you go from, whatever, say you're ending a stake or something like that. If you sell the CST, you can just burn the CST and then transfer it to your Old Glory. But at the time, I would just transfer that to my regular accounts here locally.
Well, that's convenient because then you don't have to hook all of your other stuff up to Old Glory, right? Makes
Yeah,
the
and
future
also
certain.
I think I just saw, within the past week or two, is that you can just take when you put money into Zero X Coast, is you can take uh, just your dollars and go and purchase. You can purchase Hex, you can purchase PLS right on their platform and stuff like that. So
Oh,
it's
that's
kind of
sweet.
cool.
Yeah, you don't have to buy Ethereum first or something first and then bridge it. You can just go straight into the chain.
Right. Yeah. And like before that, it was like Change Now, where basically you could buy Ethereum, say on Coinbase, you know, and then use that Change Now, send it to that Ethereum to a wallet. That wallet you could swap back and forth, and you could exchange your Ethereum for PLS. So rather than have to go over the bridge and stuff like that, and the different wait times, it's the simplest and quickest method that was out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you hoping to make it to Vegas in March for the Pulse Chain Tour?
I will probably not be. I've got some uh, business things that start to attend to in Texas. I'm planning on moving there, and so I'm kind of Vegased out, to be honest with you. I was at every stinking conference since inception. So all of Maddie's, and then the one T Penny. You remember that guy? That put on
I
that.
remember. I remember.
Yeah,
I was one of the promoters. Like I was really good friends with
yeah, no,
T
yeah.
Money, and then it just got to the point where his budget just got insane, and I
Water
was
over
like,
the bridge.
this doesn't make sense anymore.
Just part of our crypto history. But yeah, I'm just kind of Vegas out. So, but I'm hoping to focus more on like the smaller meetups and stuff like that, and just travel around. I just made um, uh, position change where I'm here in Montana to free up a lot of my time. I basically just kind of step down to a lower degree of time and responsibility because let's be honest, I mean, the first go around was good for me. I retired and I just got bored in retirement. So, I went back to work to socialize and stuff like that. But now that we're going into 2025, I'm forward focused as far as, how I'm going to execute and maneuver. Oop, can't hear you. I think the sound's off. Oh, you might be on the phone.
There we go. Sorry. Yeah.
Uh,
Last go around, I retired, and I was so diamond handed. I didn't take as many profits as I should have by far. And so this bull run, I'm going to stay retired is the plan. That's
nice.
the hope is to build enough security and get enough other streams of income going
Yeah.
that if another crazy bear hits like we've been through, I'll be DCAing in with different sources of income versus just holding your breath and praying that you make it to the bull. Like a lot of us
Yeah.
have.
No, yeah, I did relatively well. Yeah, I didn't take a large portion of cash off the table, so to speak. Although there was a point where I always tell people it's never wrong to take a profit. Yeah,
No.
Hey, and when something goes so dramatically with a bunch of zeros in front of it to where it's like 47, 48 cents. Yeah, at some point, yeah, any individual would be a fool not only to recap their initial investment and then you're riding on earned capital type of thing, but uh, also takes them away. Yeah, I always sit there and I use the green tree and the brown tree. Everybody, maybe nobody knows markets and timing, and that people know when they're in summertime and it's the green tree, like when we started to get top heavy, and that's the time to pick the apples and take a little home, but don't cut the tree down. And then when winter brown tree comes, that's when you start doing your DCA, dollar cost averaging, and getting those lower lows in the bear market.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't think we would see the lows that we saw this bear market at all. I thought that 10 cents was the floor for Hex,
Yeah.
going back in the day, and it wasn't. It was not the floor at all. So, yeah, always keep some dry powder on the side for if it drops another 99% after it's already dropped 99%. So,
Yeah. But
good.
I was good with the sacrifices. It was just serendipitous that during both the Pulse chain and then to a larger extent during the Pulse X sacrifice phase, that I happened to have some sizable hex stakes ending, and subsequently sacrificed. Um, so reinvested, I'd say probably just under 80% of my initial like gains type thing through the sacrificing and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. So how long have you lived in Montana now?
As of November 1st this year, it's been 15 years.
Wow, that's great. Are you very far from Yellowstone? Without, I mean, obviously you don't have to dox yourself, but
Oh yeah, no, I'm close. Yeah, so
that's one of my favorite places on earth is Yellowstone.
yeah, yeah. In fact, Yellowstone Club is not far from there, and it's where all the hoity-toities live. And so I used to do a lot of chefing and stuff like that up in the club.
Yeah, when I was balling, I found this mansion cabin like by Jackson Hole, and it was like 13 or 18 million dollars.
Mhm.
I was, just kind of watching it and checking it, thinking it was really cool. They were showing all the wildlife and everything and how close it was to the park. And within like a week, it was gone. Like someone had bought it, and I was like, "Who the hell's buying an $18 million cabin, man?" I'm not. There's some bigger fish out there for sure.
There's always a bigger fish,
Yeah,
no matter where you're at.
we should do a meetup in Yellowstone. We should just do a camping, fishing, hiking meetup. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there's
Instead of
there's
like
so many nice places. Yeah.
my children were mocking me because every time we turned the corner, went somewhere new, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this place is gorgeous," and they're like, "We get it, Dad. There's trees and water everywhere."
Yeah. Well, there's more cows than there is people right now still. So
Hmm.
in the state of
Well, and
Montana.
I wonder how much the show Yellowstone has increased tourism.
Well, not even tourism as much as like people relocating, you know,
Oh wow.
to Montana. Um, you know, there's been a big Californication type push um, over the past 7 to 8 years. We've seen housing prices. Uh, yeah, I got here at the end of the housing market crash. So that was 2009. And to just use an example, and this is a 2-year-old example, but I was checking out the area when I first moved here, and lay of land, and went past this housing development, and they had a big billboard up there, and it said 3 bedroom, 2 bath home with a garage could have been purchased for $159,000. And at the time, I was going through a divorce, personal stuff, and so I didn't have the opportunity to pull the trigger on that. And it was pre-crypto days.
What do you think they're going for now?
So 2 years ago, the last house that sold in that development, $1.1 million. So
It's bananas.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's been a lot. That's one of the reasons I'm kind of retiring down to Texas. I had 10 acres here in Montana. I had purchased a little under 10 years ago, and I was going to build on it, but just the growth here has been so exponential. There's more better opportunities in Texas. A lot of Hexicans in Texas, so EcoBuilder and the crew, King Daniels down there, that type of thing.
Yeah, Texas is going through a big boom too right now because a lot of California is headed to Texas. They're done with the communist state of California. What's up, Crypto
Oh,
Compassion? How are you doing, man? John's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah. Well, that's I wanted to jump on here. I really appreciate you joining me, Hextech, because I put that link out every time, and it's been
All right.
months since someone has taken me up on it and John jumped on and joined the conversation. So I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Um,
I just happened to walk in from work and checking numbers and stuff, and you were first up in the Twitter X feed there, so I was like, I said I recognized your handle on there and stuff like that, but this is the first time I've actually checked out your channel and stuff like that. So.
oh, cool. Yeah. Well, jump in our Telegram, the Anti-Gravity channel, because that's where we're going to be. That's where we hang out the most. We probably need to start a Discord channel because the NFT nerds hang out in Discord, but I don't know how to run Discord yet. So Telegram is where we're at for now.
Cool.
Yeah, jump in there. That's where we're going to be announcing things as quickly as possible. I really wanted to launch on the 22nd in like 5 days, but with this DevCon that took place in Thailand, it slowed a couple things down because all of our devs are over there partying and drinking. So we'll wait till they sober up and get them back on our test net. And as soon as we get a nice clean run through the test net, we're ready to go.
Cool.
So hopefully we'll be live here as soon as possible. Of course, famous last words. It's crypto. I probably just jinxed us into 6 more months, but
what's Richard Hart's famous saying? It's amazing this stuff works at all.
Oh yeah. it is amazing. So, anyways, yeah. All right, cool. I'm gonna go to dinner with my daughters. They should be ready by now. I told them, hey guys, get ready to go eat, and I'll stream until you're ready. I knew that would give me at least half an hour, maybe more.
Hey, real quick, talking about internet money and stuff like that. I'd encourage anybody, do your own research. Go check out the time token associated with internet money, other than the outstanding things, features of the wallet and stuff like that. Is that actually by holding time token is one of the tokens of internet money ecosystem, so to speak. And by holding that in your wallet, you actually earn money like on the transaction fees that happen within the wallet go 100% to time holders. And it pays out in PLS. Just something to look at.
And big shout out to KJ. I can't believe how much work that they put into that wallet over the last few years. Like they've really built that stuff from the ground up, from scratch. It's very, very impressive. And Internet Money wallet is the only wallet that I know of that doesn't spy on you. It's the only wallet that respects your privacy. And if that's what we're here for.
It doesn't spy on you. It doesn't track your data. So even outside of any spying type thing is, if an outside agency was to go to them and say, hey, give us your user data, they don't collect it. So there is nothing to get, which is awesome in a realm of libertarian crypto piracy, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you have a wonderful evening up there in Montana. I'm gonna grab some food, and as soon as we get the test net going again, I'll be on our Telegram letting you guys know, and I'll be streaming about it. So
cool.
We'll run through that whole thing, make sure everything works and everything's nice and as secure as possible before we make that big jump onto mainnet. So
sounds awesome. Great.
All right, see you guys.
All right, later on. Peace.